Hey guys, how's it going? Bobby G here. And today I am getting ready to go on another ghost town adventure. Today I am going to try to find the ghost town of Metropolis here in northern Nevada. This place has a pretty interesting history, quite a bit different than your typical ghost town that you find up in this area. And if I do find Metropolis, I'll go into the details on the history. I appreciate you guys watching. If you enjoy these videos, please feel free to like and subscribe. And hey, leave me a message. Maybe you know another town I should go explore. All right, well, time to hit the road, and we'll see you hopefully in Metropolis. As I head out at Elko, I go east on I-80. Metropolis sits about 15 miles to the northwest of Wells, Nevada. What's unique about Metropolis is it's a town based on farming and a real estate scam, not mining like most towns from the early 1900s. As I work my way towards Metropolis, I have a lot of dirt roads and cool scenery ahead of me. Metropolis was founded in 1909 by the Pacific Reclamation Company out of New York City. These dogs came out of nowhere and joined me for part of the drive. The Pacific Reclamation Company set up office in Salt Lake City targeting Mormon farmers. They were advertising over 40,000 farmable acres surrounding Metropolis. They were selling dry farmland for $10 to $15 an acre and irrigated land at $75 an acre. As I'm coming up on the ghost town of Metropolis, the first thing you see from a distance is the archway from the old Lincoln School built in 1919. The other structure that is partially left is the Metropolis Motel, built in 1912. You will also find two monuments as you enter the town that talk about the people and the past town of Metropolis. This is the other monument. It has a little fence around it and a lot of remnants of artifacts that have probably been found in the area. There's also a little box that has a guest book that you can sign. And as you can see, Bobby G left his mark here. So now let's go take a look at the buildings and what's left in this town. So the first thing we'll check out is the old Lincoln School, and it's in pretty rough shape and dilapidated. A lot of it is collapsing in holes, so you want to sort of be careful. A little bit of graffiti and sort of spooky. By 1912, Metropolis actually had graded streets, cement sidewalks, fire hydrants, and streetlights in a 4-block commercial district. They also had a post office, a wagon factory, 5 saloons, and then the modern hotel, which we'll go look at after this. The Southern Pacific Railroad also had built an 18-mile spur from its main line and erected an elaborate train depot and a park. In 1912, the Pacific Reclamation Company started constructing a dam, damming up Bishop Creek to create a reservoir. They were using bricks that were remnants from the 1906 San Francisco earthquake. After the dam was constructed, which was about 100 feet wide, a reservoir began to form, and land sales started to boom. By the end of 1912, the town had about 700 residents. 2/3 of them were Mormon. Later that year, farmers from downstream in the Lovelock Valley actually filed suit against the Pacific Reclamation Company for taking their water. The Pacific Reclamation Company had never got any kind of permits or permission from the state government or the federal government to build this dam. Well, the farmers from Lovelock Valley won the suit, and Pacific Reclamation Company lost the majority of its water rights. And that was just the start of the problems for the town of Metropolis. Checking out this old school was quite cool, but very eerie at the same time, almost spooky or haunted. And it's out here in the middle of nowhere, but you still sort of get a feeling of what it would have been like 100 years ago with kids running around playing. Now let's go check out what's left of the Metropolis Hotel. Like I mentioned earlier, this was built in 1912. Cost over $75,000 to build. Was 3 stories tall and had over 50 rooms. It also had Douglas fir paneling, imported tile on the floors. The first floor had a bank, a barbershop, a drugstore, a general store. The hotel even offered private baths, had electric lights, an elevator, and even telephone service. It was said that this was the finest hotel between Reno and Ogden. Now all that's left is remnants of concrete and graffiti. I did see a nice owl though. He was quite friendly. Unfortunately, in 1936, a fire burned the hotel to the ground, and that was pretty much the end of the Metropolis Hotel. In 1916, the Pacific Reclamation Company filed for bankruptcy after losing the lawsuit because they failed to secure the water rights. Many farmers found themselves without enough water to irrigate their fields, and people slowly started to leave. And this was just the start of the problems. First there was 3 years of drought, and then there was a massive jackrabbit infestation that consumed what crops there were. And then there was a typhoid epidemic due to poor sanitation. And after that, a 6-year infestation of giant Mormon crickets, which ate all the fields and even ate paint off the buildings. And if you don't know what a Mormon cricket is, Google it. They're nasty. Here's an old sidewalk that still exists, and even though there is not a lot of structures here, there are remnants of life that once was here, and the booming town that almost was. Everywhere you look, there are artifacts, cans, old cars, wash tubs, all kinds of cool stuff to be discovered. After the hotel burned down in 1936, most of the people left started moving away. In 1942, the post office was closed, and 5 years after that, the school was shut down for good, and that was pretty much the end of Metropolis. All that was left was a few surrounding ranches, which are still there to this day. And just to the west of Metropolis, you will find the Valley View Cemetery. It's easy to miss. You have to look for it. There is a map that shows you who was buried where, and this was the cemetery used by the residents of Metropolis. There are lots of old markers here. Lots of people died at younger ages, and it's a little reminder of how rough life was back in the day in Metropolis. It's still used by some of the surrounding ranches as people get buried here to join their ancestors. Well, I hope you enjoyed my day at Metropolis. It was really cool finding this place, and I appreciate you watching and coming along. And I hope you join me on the next one. And at the end of this, there is a little slideshow of a few photos I was able to find online of the town of Metropolis. Thanks for watching.